Hello.
There are a few more seconds of the video.
Yeah.
On the
Hey, we're live.
Hello.
How is everybody?
I hope everyone can hear us very well.
Yes. And you can notice from behind us, Rosen and I are here in Sofia, Bulgaria. So we're joining you and some of our colleagues from all over. I think we're going to have Rick join us and Sam, and they're in Texas. So pretty exciting. And just as a reminder, everybody, we're here to talk about the R1 release.
Yeah, and the amazing thing is that we have Eve here, so I can do this.
Right? We can make it interactive. And it's about 5 p.m. here this time, but I know people are joining us from all different time zones, so we're happy to take a little bit of time out. What we want to do here today is give you an overview of what is coming or what came in the R1 release. We're actually going to do some roaming videos in a little bit, so this will be exciting. So you get to see some of the faces behind the products, and we're going to talk about a lot of the different products that came out in this release. So we're going to be talking about our progress in our Telerik UI. We're going to be talking about reporting, and Rose and I are here to talk to you about Fiddler, so we can kick that off. And is Rick with us? I'm not seeing him. Okay, not a problem. He'll join us a little bit later. Oh, there he is. See, all I had to do is ask, and he'll appear.
Hey, Rick.
Hello.
How's it going, Rick?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me okay? Yep.
Yep.
We do.
Perfect. Hello. Good morning.
And you're joining us from Texas, right?
I am in lovely Round Rock, Texas at the beautiful Kalahari Hotel and Convention Center.
Nice.
So, hey, everyone. I'm
Sam.
just hopping on as well. So, Rick and me are actually physically in the same spot. We just don't like each other enough to be, in the same, room. But yeah, we are in beautiful Round Rock, Texas. We're all over the, place today. Friends from all over the world, just celebrating a big release. This was a lot of effort, a lot of moving pieces, and we streamlined a lot of our workflows. So this was, big release for us. So we're here to celebrate all the things, and this is just coming out fresh from the release yesterday. But we will do in-depth webinars that's coming up in the next 2 weeks.
Exactly. And I think today we're going to have Rick kick it off with some reporting for us. He always pulls out some magic when it comes to reporting. Him and Sam have done some cool demos in the past. I don't know what he has for us today, but I'll let him take it from here.
Great. Thanks, Eve. Well, actually, I just got the bits with everyone else yesterday. So what I have today is a vibrant discussion of our product and what happened this time around. And our audience can very much come join me where I'll have something exciting to show on the live webinar. But we can talk a lot about what happened with this release. There's a lot of good things that came out that I'm very, very excited about. So let's see. What was one of the biggest things that I think to come out this release, something that's been asked for quite a bit, and that was we're calling it the shared data source or predefined data source for reporting. So I think a lot of the people who have heard me talk about reporting before, we talk about how you can bring in all kinds of different data to your reports, whether it be JSON, XML, inline, remote, from SQL, from services. So wherever your data is, whatever how it's formatted, flat or hierarchical, it's going to have some way to get into reporting. And that's always been, a big feature. But you kind of had to reinvent the wheel just slightly when you had the same reports that were using the same data. You had to sort of have that same connectivity, other than the connection string, the same selection queries, the same data massaging for each report. It was just part of the setup. And we had a lot of things over the years to make that easier. We built templates, we built ways to reuse some elements, but you still had to change. If you made a change to something systematically, you had to go into each report using that data and reflect that change through. And for large companies, enterprises, that may have been a little bit annoying. So what we have is a shared data source, which allows you to basically create that connection criteria once and store it as part of your entire operation and use that. Yeah, got some feedback there. Use that inside of your report sort of universally. And that's a really, really cool feature. I'm looking forward to being able to show and play with for everybody. Just this a little bit. There you go. So yeah, that's a great one of the great new features that came out. Like I said, the paint is still wet on it, so I'm still hitting it with the hammer and seeing where all the corners of it are. You can, so what I've seen so far, create this shared data source once, load it into your report, whether it be report server or our standalone reporting package, and utilize that across all of your reports. So I think that's something that the team should be immensely proud of. Being able to leverage all of that additional utility in this solution just brings more end-to-end value to the product. Let's see what else came out in this release that we can talk about. So last few times around, we talked a lot about the native report viewer for Blazor. So just to set the context for this, previous to the native version, we had, of course, our wrapped report viewer for Blazor. It allowed you to bring in what was our jQuery-based report viewer quite simply as an item template, drop it in your project, and it could run. But I'm a bit of a Blazor fanboy too. Sam knows this. One of the greatest things is that you can just entirely get rid of JavaScript reliance, if that's sort of what you're going for. So it was always a little strange to have to bring in a jQuery-based widget. So the team kind of agreed with me and a lot of our customer base, and they built an amazing native Blazor report viewer, which is utilizing our UI for Blazor control library to bring that champagne back into the reporting solution. And we've been increasing the features of that every single release, and I'm happy to say we have some new great features for that. Infinite scrolling was a big one, so you can just sort of use your mouse wheel to scroll down in the report for whether it be 1 page or 1,000 pages, to click any next page or page forward or page back buttons. That's going to make it a lot easier to look through your reports. And that was a feature we had in some of our other report viewers too. So it's good that, that made it into the native one as well. Built-in content searching. If you do have a longer report, you don't know exactly where your data is that you want to find, you can hit the search box and easily find out what you're looking for. And we added some back and forth navigation with the drill down, drill through reporting for reports. We'll get a bit into the weeds more when I can demo it and show what that means. But just basically when you drill from one report down to another report and then down to another report, you can navigate back quite easily. And I think the last big one we added was tooltip support, which a lot of our charts have sort of built-in tooltips that you can see for some of the data points. And now that is passed all the way through to the report viewer on the front end and allows you to sort of hover over certain elements of the report, get tooltips, and see what's going on. And on the back end, we have continued improvements on the client-side API. Oh, and one more big thing we added was that now this report viewer as well is available as an item template in Visual Studio. So that just makes it much easier to bring into your report. No code to control paste, copy in. So you can just sort of add new report viewer, and that's done.
And Rick, correct me if I'm wrong, you got .NET 7 support in there too.
We do. So .NET 7 support is something we've been working on for a while. I think we had it in a preview in the last release, but yeah, we have official .NET 7 support in reporting for Windows. Some of our longtime customers who are utilizing Linux will know that Telerik Reporting is built on GDI+, which support ended for in .NET 7 under Linux. So we are doing some magic on the back end to enable different renderings to replace the GDI or libgdi+ and Linux is what that library is. And then we will have full Windows and Linux .NET support, hopefully soon. As of today, full .NET support for a Windows machine.
Very cool, very cool. I'm seeing there are a couple of questions popping up. Folks are comparing some of the other libraries that we have with other libraries. We don't talk about other people's things. So for every UI product suite and reporting and testing, we like to stand on the shoulders of our engineers and what we have put together. So what we always say, it's just always the right tools for the right job. Make sure the UI and the tools that you're using fits what you're doing. You're comfortable with the documentation, you're comfortable with the developer experience, and you can trust the folks who are standing by you for support or whatever else that you might need.
It all sounds very impressive.
Very well said, Sam.
I know what we want to do right now is take a quick shoot over to the roaming camera.
Ooh.
Anything else that you wanted to share? I know you're hopping on a plane to head back to Boston, but is there any other findings or key points you want to share with the audience tonight?
We have a couple more things I can mention quickly. You can bear with me for another couple of minutes. So we always try and move the library forward, both in big ways and in little ways. And I think one of the nice things that got added, which as a programmer I am definitely going to start utilizing, is some enhanced conditional logic branching in our expression syntax. So what that basically means is we added a switch, which if you have to do any more than 2 or 3 conditions makes it much, much easier when you're writing your reports. I personally have some reports. Everyone, I think, knows that I do some interesting reports for our webinars where there's some not pretty conditional logic built in. If else nested 30 or 40 times. The switch statements built in will make that much easier to massage to look the way you want. And lots of little fit and function and trim pieces added. I mean, there's a sort of a death by 1,000 paper cuts way in which they increase the performance and the features in reporting. I don't think I'll be able to get into each and every little one, but leave it to be said, we had a lot of great stuff that came out in this release.
What's nice is that you're going to be able to deep dive into these things into the upcoming webinar, right, at the beginning of February?
For as much time as Sam is willing to give me, I will be going through what came out, yes.
Perfect. So everyone will have a chance to really see what he's talking about. You'll be able to see the bits in action. Like you said, they're just been dropped, so everything is fresh out of the gate, but there's a lot of good things coming your way. Okay. Rick, well, thanks for joining us. And if you can, stick around for a little bit. We're going to go over to I'm going to call it live commercial break. You guys get to see a little bit of the Sophia office. And then we'll be back. We'll be talking about Fiddler Everywhere. And then we'll move on to some of the other products.
Hey, hello. Hi. Are we live? Can you hear me?
Live.
Awesome. Hello and welcome from the Sofia, Bulgaria office. I am so excited to bring in some of the team today and maybe talk about some favorite features. So I love that I'm the commercial break. Lisa Nykel here from the Kendo UI Angular team, but I've got some amazing peeps. Say hi, everybody. Hello. Okay, so let's go meet them. Let's go see who's who and what's what. Also, there's mountains. I don't know if you can see them on the chat, but there are mountains. So hello, good sir. What is your name? Hello. Can you introduce yourself to the chat?
I'm Ivan Christoph, and I'm engineering manager of the reporting team.
Very cool. Okay, so what's your niche of engineering? Like, do you have a specific programming language or product that you work on?
I work on the reporting product, Telerik Reporting and Telerik Report Server, and I usually use C# and TypeScript.
Nice.
And I also hate JavaScript.
Oh, you hate JavaScript. Okay. I'm going to recruit you because I have a channel called JavaScript Girl in a .NET World where I'm learning .NET. So I feel like you'd be a really good person, someone to learn from. Yeah, I feel like it'd be a really good perspective. Do you have a favorite part of this release?
Actually, yes.
You do?
Yeah. We released this really cool feature named Shared Data Sources, and it's. Without going into details, it allows people to share the data, the places where the data comes from.
Yeah.
And it's something that our users have requested in the past, so now we deliver.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for chatting with me. Have a beautiful evening in this mountainous area. And
thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Amazing. All right, next up on the beanbag. I think this is a beanbag. I think that's a beanbag. Yeah, I'm going to beanbag next to you. You're saying it's supposed to be? Is it? Does it count? Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's comfy. Can you introduce yourself to the chat?
So yeah, I'm another Ivan. I'm Ivan Prushev, but I just started in the company this Monday.
What?
So yeah, I'm the new product manager for Kendo.
Okay. Well, hi, Alyssa. Good to meet you.
Good to meet you too.
I am so excited to get to work with you.
So yeah. Me as well, but yeah, I'm just reading through the notes, so
Yeah.
I can't quite say.
That's totally fine. But do you have a favorite as far as programming language or anything from that perspective, technology-wise?
Jeez, well, I coded back in the day, so I coded in .NET. I mean C#
Mhm.
in particular, but yeah.
Do you
I coded a bit
also
in Java.
hate JavaScript?
I haven't touched JavaScript, to be honest.
Okay, all right. So we've got no
I'm just
opinion
starting.
here.
I'm just
one
starting.
hate. We're just like move down the line.
Yeah. But he's demotivating me too.
Oh, okay.
I'm starting in JavaScript. So.
Well, welcome to the team. So excited to have you, and great meeting you for the first time.
Yeah.
Awesome. Woo. All right. Next up, hi. Can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Emil. I'm part of the Kendo teams team.
Nice. And do you have a favorite like language or product? Do you
I-
also hate JavaScript?
No, I don't. I actually like it, so maybe he doesn't like me anymore.
I love it. No, I love both. I love JavaScript and .NET. So I want you all to know it's okay to love both. But do you have anything from this release that like comes to mind as exciting or a favorite for you?
Favorite, I wouldn't say, but I think all the things that we release are exciting, so I just can't pick a favorite.
No, I respect that. Thanks for coming on, man, and have a wonderful evening. Thank you for taking some time to talk to us. All right, last on this side of the room. Don't worry, there's more. Introduce yourself, please.
Okay, so I'm gonna be Ivan III.
I'm in the third. I love it. Oh my. Okay, and your opinions, just like before we even find out what you do here at Progress.
What
do
I
you
do?
like? Yeah, before we find out.
Okay.
Do you like JavaScript? I mean, I got it.
It's a language like any other.
Oh, that's
So,
beautiful.
yeah.
I love that.
I
So what?
can use it like I have nothing against it. I have against people who don't know how to use it, but that's another story.
Okay, so I like it. And what team are you on?
So my team is called Technical Guidance, but I used to be part of the Kendo UI teams, and then the teams team, and previously the Kendo UI team, and then previously the Ajax teams. So
does Technical Guidance work with a ton of different like teams and ton of different products?
Yep,
Okay.
we do.
Okay, very cool.
So I don't adhere to any specific release. Like we help
Everybody?
wherever help is needed.
That sounds very overwhelming.
So I can't really say I have something favorite. In that
Yeah.
mean I discriminate, so I like everything.
Oh, well, thank you for taking some time. The third. Have a wonderful evening. And thank you, everybody on this side of the room. Mwah, you're beautiful. Thank you for the hard work. I really appreciate, and I know our customers do too. So thank you for everything you do. All right, I'm going to hand it back to the room, the other room, the bigger room for a minute while I go, or maybe not. Maybe they're not ready for that. I'm walking. This is.
We are always ready for you.
Oh, listen, that was amazing.
I'm here to inform you, both of you are on mute.
Alyssa, you're on mute. We can't hear you. We can't hear you, Alyssa. Oh,
She
we lost
goes.
her. On that note, hello, Catherine.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. So maybe we bring back our other room where everyone is. Eve, if you're ready, we'll bring you back on. There you go. And
Swap
I'm
out.
Rosen.
We're ready. I'm here with Rosen, and we can hear Alyssa because she's only in like a room around the corner, so I can hear her in this room. But I know the audience couldn't hear her. But I know she'll be going to a next round of people and learning a little bit more about what they do here at Progress. It's interesting to get their take on JavaScript. But what I want to do here today is I have Simona in the back as well. She can come onto stage if we can let her in. But here's Rosen. You might remember Rosen. His last big debut was in Boston at Progress 360. I know that was in was that September, Sam? That's my
Yeah.
my timeline. And then Simona, she's joining us remotely today. So both Rosen and Simona are on the Fiddler product team. And along with R1 release, we released Fiddler 4.0. And we're just going to give you a couple of the big highlights like for today, and then we can move on to Alyssa on the roaming camera. But I'll start with you.
Before we,
oh, sure.
I was going to say, before we get into Fiddler, just a fun note. So I was at a conference last week, and I am talking about Fiddler. I'm standing on your shoulders, trying to spread the love. It was a big room of maybe about 200 people, and this is the impact like Fiddler has had over the years. Like so many devs or QA people, support people, we have kind of grown up with Fiddler. So I'm trying to showcase Fiddler, and I just asked the room, like, how many of you have ever used Fiddler or have used it for 5-10 years? It was 95% of the room, like the hands went up. Like that's how much Fiddler is used and loved. So thank you for what you do.
Well, that's awesome to hear, and thanks for sharing that. Yeah, we're all about spreading the Fiddler love, and that's why it's a big part of it to be part of the overall release. And I know one of the big features that either you or someone are going to talk about today was the advanced filters, right? Is that one of the bigger ones that came out in this release?
Yeah, I can take that. When you say Fiddler Everywhere 4.0, the first thing I think about is the new filters, the improved filtering experience as a whole. So previously, we had so-called advanced filters and column filters, and previously they were kind of separate. It was a little bit confusing for the users. So yeah, with the latest version, they're actually much more in sync. They're grouped, and anything that you apply on any of the approaches is applied across to the other one. So you now have you can choose how to approach that. You can go to the column filters if you have a very specific condition that you want to use in order to narrow down traffic. And if you want to apply more complex filtering, more than one condition, you have a very direct way to open our filter editors. And you can apply as many conditions as you want. You will also notice that we have new checkboxes next to each condition that you add. So those are, I believe, those are helpful. For example, if you spend some time building on your match condition, but then you want to play with the match condition, play with the filter criteria, you don't have to delete the whole row that you were just spending some time to set up. You can just use the checkboxes, uncheck or check that one, and it's much more easier, I believe, to use the filters and to play with narrowing down the traffic. And a highly, a long-awaited option as well is the save filter option that we also introduced with the latest release. So yeah, you can set up your filter, you can put a name on it and click on save. And next time you want to, for example, if you know that every time you open Fiddler Everywhere, there's a certain filter that you want to apply, you can just go to your list of saved ones and click on that, and it will be automatically applied. So yeah, that's another benefit that we added to Fiddler Everywhere.
Yeah,
that is very cool. So I have a quick question, and sorry, Eve, you were going to say something.
I was going to mention, like with the save filters, along with the saving of requests and save sessions, the productivity gains have really taken part in the last 1 or 2 releases. So I'm happy to see that as well.
Yeah. So I was asked this question because like when we keep Fiddler running, it's embarrassing how much it captures. Like it's every network thing, and our ways to filter down what we want to see, like that's the true power. And as we are going through our workflows, you may want to set up these custom filters which are very specific. And the real power is when we can save things off. So let's say if Eve and me are working together on a product, can I save my filters so Eve can reload them up herself?
Not yet, but this is something that we have on our roadmap, and to probably
that'll be very sweet.
Yeah. First, we wanted to get more feedback about the saved filters, and if you remember in our session in September, I promised that we'll have these saved filters. So now, finally, we have
now
them.
It's here.
Yeah.
And Sam, that was a very good point that you made. We were actually trying to improve this whole capturing and filtering on traffic experience. And we have actually some new upcoming stuff that will even ease that up. So definitely stay tuned, everyone, to for the upcoming release to get an even enhanced experience on that part.
Yeah, no pressure. We just like putting you on the spot and giving you more things to do on the roadmap.
We are prepared.
And another thing that is super important for productivity, like I find, is like the rules. I would set up all of these very custom rules, and then I can turn them on and off. Are we going towards a place where rules can be saved and shared?
Well, actually, you can now save and share your rules, but we know that it is not the best experience. I'm sure that even you have not found it yet. So we are currently revamping all of our rules, and in one of our future releases, we will allow you to group them in sections. We'll have some additional functionalities like predefined rules, and also the ability to share all of those groups with the rest of the team to give them the knowledge that you have gained through those rules. For example, one of the common rules that we often share in our team is something that can check for your password if it's in some of the requests, because you know that you want to protect yourself, you want to see if something is out there, and this is something that you can build and later share with others just by putting, and everyone will just have to put their own password that they want to check and monitor the traffic. I'm sure you will find some interesting tools out there that are actually working with your passwords.
Yeah. Okay. So,
oops, Hans-Sam, real quick. We're gonna have some more things to share on Fiddler. We're gonna cut over real quick to see what's happening in the other break room on floor 7, and then we'll be right back.
We are calling Alyssa like the commercial.
I know.
So, Alyssa, take it away. No, I mean, she's still talking. Is she ready? Alyssa, you ready?
Yep, she is ready.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. Hello again. Apologies. Technology's she's just not my friend today, but I'm so excited to introduce the other half of the room, the office. I'm going to do a swing around. Say hi. So yes, let's meet. What is your name?
Hello.
What team are you on?
I'm Joanna. I'm part of Blazor, React, and Vue teams. So I'm managing Crow.
And so are you an engineer?
Yeah, I have background as an engineer, as quality assurance engineer. So I've been checking the release.
So you mentioned Blazor, and we've been asking, people's opinions on JavaScript. I'm assuming you don't love it because
I love it, actually.
Oh, you really?
Yeah.
Well, that warms my heart. Yeah,
but you should go the other
around the room and find out opinions.
Room, yeah.
Do you have anything that sticks out as special during this release that you're like, go look at this feature or go look at this component? Anything?
Yeah, we released so many things, but my personal favorite one is the compact grid or the sizing options of the grid. It's great for showing financial data. So it's amazing feature. It's available in Angular, React, Vue, Blazor.
So go check out the compact grid everywhere. I love it.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Well, thank you for taking time this evening to talk to us. I appreciate you so much for all the work you do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, Hi. So tell me, what's your name? What team are you on? And your thoughts on JavaScript in general.
I'm Christian, and I'm from the Blazor team.
Okay.
And let's say I don't hate JavaScript.
You don't?
Yeah, but I prefer to work with C#.
Okay.
Yeah, and about this release, I was more into accessibility. That was my favorite part.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. I honestly...
There are other big parts, but yeah, this one was my favorite.
I love how our team, like all the teams actually, are very passionate and make sure that before that beta tag is removed, it meets all the accessibility specs. And so I love that.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
It's really important.
Well, thank you so much for hopping on. Any other words of wisdom? Anything you want to Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Ooh, it's like a 180 spin. Hi,
everyone.
Hi. So name, what you do, JavaScript thoughts.
Yeah, my name is Radko Stanev. I'm a software engineer in the Blazor team. I've recently taken the role of team lead as well. I love JavaScript.
Okay.
I love C#. Now we're talking about Java. That's a different story. But...
Wait, we don't love Java. We have.
I wouldn't say hate, but yeah.
Well, I also will be stealing you for my stream so that you can teach me some .NET from a JavaScript perspective, since you seem to know both, you know?
Okay.
So favorite part, anything special that like from this release?
There are tons of great stuff, really. The compact grid is definitely one of them, the accessibility improvements, but if I have to name one,
yes,
I'd say probably the adaptive mode of all selects and pickers, like a nice, sleek layout for, let's say, mobile devices. Looks great.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much for taking time and for all your hard work.
Thank you.
All right, last one, and then I'll pass it back to the big room.
Okay.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Hello. Name, what do you do?
I'm Peter. I'm part of the React and Vue team.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. React and Vue. I gotcha. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm Angular, so I'm just okay.
We like you.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Do you hate JavaScript?
I love JavaScript.
Okay. Do you like .NET?
Maybe I can. If I should be politically correct.
Okay.
I don't like that much C# and .NET, the .NET ecosystem. So. Yeah.
Okay. One last question. What are your thoughts on TypeScript?
It's great.
It's great.
Okay.
I'm like Catherine. If
I'm
you're
not
watching.
I'm not against Microsoft. I'm like.
Well, Catherine and I were having this discussion because she's from React and I'm from Angular, and Angular has widely accepted TypeScript. Like that's just what we do now. We don't JavaScript anymore. We TypeScript. And she was saying how she hasn't quite gotten on that boat yet. And I'm like, hey, look, you're in React, Vue, and TypeScript. You can love it all. So
I think it's nice to have it, and yeah, I like it.
Anything special from the release that you'd like to mention?
My opinion is the PDF viewer.
Oh,
yeah, it's something that a lot of people wanted, and now it's available, and I believe that it will. Everyone will be excited.
I honestly love how much every team actually takes feedback of like customers and developers, and they're like, they wouldn't stop asking for it, so we gave it to them. Like, I love that.
It had a lot of requests, so yeah. Now it's live, so everyone can test it.
That's awesome. PDF viewer, go check it out. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Okay. Well, thank you for your time, everybody.
Thank you.
I'm gonna wave goodbye to all of you as I do a very amazing exit, but have a wonderful evening. You're all beautiful. Thank you for your work. Hi, hello.
I love how many friends you've made. Mind you that Alyssa's only been here a couple hours. I think she's met an entire floor, and the night is still young.
I was going to say, we can find more people.
I know we will. I'm not worried about that whatsoever. But I love how everyone is being so open and sharing with you their thoughts, their favorite points from the releases. I thought at one point you might get the Heisman from one, but you recovered quickly. Found some common ground, so that was awesome to see.
Now, Alyssa, would you dare go out to the balcony and the roof on 6th and 7th floors? You sure?
Oh yeah, I'm headed there now. Let me, if I can figure out how to. Yeah, I found the door.
And we can come back to you. Oh, there you go. Now you're outside.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Can I? All right. We're gonna go. We're gonna try. I'm gonna mute myself so we don't pick up. Hello. Hi. Just passing through behind me. I'm gonna break the fourth wall. Are you ready?
And I'm happy to see, I know in the chat, lots of questions are coming up. We'll try to get to them, later on if we can. Right now it's a little hard with the roaming, and some of their questions are more extensive, than what we have the time for right now, but we will not let anything go unanswered.
I do have one burning question to ask.
Oh gosh.
And it is right behind Rosen is our big sign for DevReach. And I think somebody might need a little rescue. Like I feel like somebody's trapped behind that, or maybe intentionally hiding.
Now a little bit. You see, there's a
there you go. There you go. Maybe somebody needs a rescue. I see a hand, but she seems like stuck there forever.
Good eye, Sam. It was strategic placement. That's our behind the scenes
strategic placement.
Hair and makeup.
Like it's literally behind the scenes, like hiding. Oh, that's our good friend Cindy, by the way. All right. So
real quick, and Rosen, I know there were a couple things that you wanted to share with us today. If I know, I'll kind of take a list as, what do you do here? What's your name? What's your part of Fiddler? Maybe what's your zodiac sign? I don't know. Whatever you want to share with me.
Let's don't go to the zodiac sign, please.
Too far. Okay.
Yeah.
Too much. Too soon.
Yeah. So I'm sure you all know from the September Wife and from this Wife that I'm Rosen and I'm leading the Fiddler engineering team. What I wanted to share is one, because some mentioned the productivity, and this is something that I found quite useful. Something else that we have released in the last month. It is the ability to copy the sessions that you see in Fiddler Everywhere, to copy them as your requests, for example, as fetch or as curl or PowerShell script. So I've used it a lot because I love to capture traffic with Fiddler. I love to take a deep look how other applications are working, and Fiddler is helping me in this case. And whenever I have to write my own script, it takes a lot of time because, yeah, I know how to write JavaScript, or at least I knew in the past, and I try to do it. And every time when I try to request, it is just failing. And that's when I just use the right click in Fiddler Everywhere, just copy as fetch and put it in my code, and it's actually working. And it's this simple. You need around 2 seconds to do it, not like 2 hours in my case in other situations. But yeah, this is the cool feature that I love from this release, apart from what Simon already mentioned. But there are a couple of new items that we are currently working on and that will be live soon. Maybe Simon can share some of the items that we are working on and that will be live, and when will they be live?
Yeah, our team is constantly trying to improve everything. We listen to your feedback. We try to address that as soon as possible. But yeah, as Rosen mentioned, we do have a new release coming up. It will be live by the end of the month for sure. And one of the things that I'm excited about is the new quick search option, or should I say the totally revamped search option. It's the quick search will have an improved functionality. Once you enter a keyword, it will be looking for content through all of the columns in the live traffic grid, and it will have a highlighting. So that means you will have a clear view of where that content is and which session you might be looking for, or you might want to work with. So it will, it will have highlights. The search will also be looking at content in hidden columns, which means that even if there's a match in a column that is not visible currently, you have an indication for that. And with just a click, you'll be able to reveal the hidden columns that your match could be contained in. So yeah, that's definitely one of the things I am excited about for everyone to try out.
I think, Cory, you mentioned that there is something for spam the next release. Can you share more about it?
Yeah, actually, in that productivity, improving filtering, capturing direction, as you might remember, we did release a bypass functionality that allows you to bypass specific domains. And now with the new filtering experience, the quick search that's coming up, along that, we'll have a new option to limit sessions that are visible in the live traffic grid when capturing. So that means that you'll be able to specify a specific a number of sessions that you want to be visible at once in the live traffic grid. So for example, you can just put 20 and you'll have just 20 requests in the live traffic grid visible. You'll be able to just have Fiddler Everywhere running on the background, and whenever instead of the whole application filling up with all of those requests and sessions, when you, let's say, experience an issue, you'll be able to open the application, see the last 20 requests, for example, and quickly go through those and yeah, just an increased productivity for sure. And I believe a more like a smoother work with the application, better UI. And yeah, that's the other thing I can definitely see it being useful in the next release.
That's exciting. And I know you could go on and on. And February 2nd, you're going to be online doing the webinar at 11 o'clock Eastern time. And you're going to be showing all the things for 4.0. And likely, Simone is pretty good at giving a sneak peek into 4.1 and the next release after that. So definitely be some good tidbits. And Simone, sorry, I tagged you in really fast, but I didn't give you a chance to tell the audience who you are, what you do here, and maybe what's most intriguing about your job.
Yeah, well, I'm the product manager for the Fiddler family. So my job, I guess, is to take users' feedback, work with multiple teams, try to address that feedback in the best possible way in the application to improve the experience for everyone using Fiddler Everywhere. And yeah, that's in short. So I think this is my second appear in the Twitch session. So yeah, really exciting to talk release.
Essentially, what Simona means is like she's the mom of the Fiddler family, and she's herding cats all the time.
They're definitely both rock stars. So I'm excited to have be with them here in person and bring you the latest bits for Fiddler and what's coming out. And who's up next, Sam? Do you remember who's up?
We're missing Ed here because Ed and me cover all of the .NET stuff. So maybe Alyssa, if you're ready, then you can go, and then I can cover some of the .NET, high level product.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think. Sorry about that. We had some feedback. So I think I'm going to go ahead and bring on Catherine, if you're ready, my love. And I'll let you all sign off real quick from this session. And then we'll move on to some Kendo UI tidbits and see how much time we have at the end for any other Telerik or .NET bits.
Okay, so before I sign off, I have to go run and catch a plane as well. But folks, next week, we are going to do all things .NET for our webinar. That's going to be Ed and me covering all of the .NET updates across all things ASP.NET, Ajax and MVC, Razor pages, and all things Blazor, of course. And then I come in and talk about all of the mobile and desktop things. So that's everything from WPF, WinForms, WinUI, UWP, and of course Xamarin and .NET MAUI. So we have a lot to unpack. That's coming up next week.
Sounds good. Well, from the Fiddler team, we're going to sign off, but it was great talking with everyone. If we can figure out how to do what Alyssa does, maybe we can roam around to a couple other floors, but I think that's a special skill. Rosen, are you up for it?
Not really yet, but I can try something.
Okay, we'll see what we can do. See, we talked about maybe some round-offs. I'm not sure, but that might be a little aggressive for today. But thank you to everyone for listening to our part about reporting in Fiddler, and we'll see you on February 2nd.
Thank you all.
And I'll be off as well. Thank you.
See you soon.
All right.
Hey there.
Hi.
Said hello and realized I was still on mute. How are you doing?
Oh, yeah, that's been my whole day, whole day. So
to be fair, you did literally just step off a plane. So I think
Sarah came running into the room like this. And she was like, "You're muted." And I was like, "Oh, I'll stop talking now." So it was great. It was the first time I'd met many of our engineering team, and I felt real smooth. I was like, I know technology.
Deeply jealous that you guys go this team. I have not yet met the team.
Next Sophia trip. So I like, honestly, I keep meeting all these engineers that aren't Angular, and I'm like, gosh darn it, where are my people? So I'm gonna find them. So I haven't yet met my team, but I've met your team. So if that
that counts, that's halfway there. At least you're in the JavaScript zone, and when you talk to people, they'll be like, yeah, JavaScript, we love JavaScript.
We're like, we know JavaScript. Calvin, it was you, right? I didn't misquote you about TypeScript. It was you.
No, that was correct. That was me. That was
I was like, I had this moment of panic. I was like, what if it wasn't?
No.
There was a question in the chat about MAUI. If it's I know it was directed at Sam before Sam ran off and got on a plane. Rude, I know.
Yeah.
Is it a library or a framework, and why is it the best? So I'm gonna just.
I'm gonna level with you. I think that's Fuel just teasing us because he also
he knows.
He dropped is React a library or framework.
Yeah. See,
what's the difference between TypeScript?
And C#? Okay, thank you for cluing me in. I was just now reading. Dang it, Fuel got me again.
Fuel.
Okay, so
yeah.
Question, Catherine. Angular got this thing called the compact grid. Did you get a compact grid?
I think we already. Ooh.
Oh, it's one of those. We already had it.
I kind of think we have it. I'm gonna level with you that I don't remember.
let me. I want to like actually share a screen.
So is it the data grid or is it the pivot grid?
It's different. It's okay. So this is
a whole new grid. It's
right. So I don't know if it's a whole new grid or if it's just an enhancement because like the way the docs were written, it looked like it was an enhancement. On the grid to be compact in certain situations in which one would need a compact grid. So
oh no, we did. We got the compact grid. I had a note where that's why I was like making sure. I was like, we did, but it is an adjustment to our data grids that it now has a compact rendering mode. And I was making sure those are the same things across the libraries, and it sounds like they are.
So do you have anything other than compact grid that you're excited about for React?
We got 2 new components. We're kind of at the point where like we have a really robust. We've got like well over 100 components.
I was gonna say, what are the numbers like 10?
The number's super high. A lot of our releases now are updates, like either quality of life updates, feature updates, stuff like the compact grid that makes the components that we have more robust. So when we get like a totally brand new component, I kind of love it. And we got 2.
What are they? What are the 2 new ones?
We got the action sheet, which is nice. It's kind of like it's mostly made for like mobile development. So you get that little like menu that pops up from the bottom that can give you some options. I suppose I can share.
I have it pulled up for Angular, but I think she's similar. Oh, you got it?
I got it. Give me one moment to share my screen. You weren't liking just like my gestures, my hand symbols?
No, I was like, I have this tab open. You always have the exact like doc or whatever the thing is like pulled up and ready to go. So I was trying to like emulate you where I was like, So yes, this is called
action sheet. Yeah. So basically you can set a button pretty much anywhere and it will trigger this little menu that comes up from the bottom of the page, which is really nice. Just really handy. And it's, especially for things. Well, right. Like it makes a lot of sense from a UX perspective, and it's good for kind of those secondary actions. Like if you have a file that you're going to like save or print or like share, those kind of one click down things work really well for the action sheet. We also got the PDF viewer, which I think y'all got too.
Did we? Because I know one of the devs was mentioning it. And hang on, I'm gonna pull.
I'm a level with you. I don't know at all what's in the Angular release.
Because I didn't see it. I saw it on React. So tell me this is a new component that is, and they were, one of the devs mentioned it was their favorite highlight was the PDF.
It's viewer. Nice. It's really handy. Oh, did I see Ed just pop on?
No way.
And I thought you were MIA. AWOL, maybe.
Yeah. If it's really you may join. If it's not, if it's an Ed imposter, we don't take Ed imposters on this stream.
If it's the Code It Live elf, just hang up. just go. So before we pull Ed on, I did have like an actual question from Fuel, which I'm pretty sure is an actual question and not just Fuel messing with us. So basically what we've got here, you can choose either PDF.js or the Telerik document processing library to handle your rendering. With the example that I've built into my demo app, it's in base64. So it was an easy enough task to encode a PDF and slap it in there, and it worked super well. I will, of course, you know me, I'll dabble with my app later and I'll show it off, but I want to hand it back over to Ed. I just want to make sure your question was answered even though you're just stirring
I'm going to take it as serious stirring.
I'm going to answer it seriously. If it's a joke question, I don't care. I'm going to use it to talk about the PDF viewer. Can't stop me.
Hey, and you're live. In case you didn't know, I made you live.
Hello, how are you ladies doing?
So good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Alyssa, you are for the first time in Sofia, Bulgaria, right?
No, yes.
How awesome is that?
It's absolutely beautiful here. And the devs are quite nice, except for that one who hates JavaScript. But
except for the one.
That one. There was just
The
one.
one.
Yeah, no. So, Ed, do you have any Blazor like excitements, specialty bits that you wanted to talk about today?
I have something that I'm really excited about with our Blazor REPL that I want to talk about today.
Are you gonna show? Like,
Sure. Yeah, we can share. We can do a little
I wanna see.
share session.
Mhm.
Let's see. Gotta get the buttons clicking. There we go. All right. So Blazor REPL, if you're not familiar, is a kind of like for JavaScript users out there. This is kind of like CodePen or
JS Fiddle.
JS Fiddle. What's the other? StackBlitz. StackBlitz.
Like the most popular. God, my head. Okay, yes.
Yeah. So that type of a thing where you can come in and write some code in a little snippet, or maybe even just kind of a somewhat complex demo and share that with the world. So you can come in. Let's go ahead and I'll explain the new feature that I'm using in just a sec. Oh yeah, absolutely.
It is code for ants right now.
Let's do this. Let's do this. Display settings. Let's amplify this guy up a little bit. I always forget that I should probably match the outgoing stream. It's going to work a lot better if I do that.
And I just got parallels on my Mac so I could run Windows, and our backgrounds look the same.
You have a Windows machine. Why do you need parallels? You have a Windows machine. Why do you need parallels? I don't
Literally
understand.
this big. No one can travel with such a thing.
Why would you want to run Windows?
That is true.
Catherine, we love all languages and frameworks here.
Speak for yourself.
We'll have another stream about my experience with Apple devices. But
oh, no.
Yeah, I had another one this weekend. The stream is not long enough to go into the details, so we'll have to chat offline. So this is Blazor REPL. So we've got on the left-hand side our component, which is for those out there that maybe are in the JavaScript world. This is Razor, which is a templating language in the .NET world. Yeah, that should be a show. Fuel Snable, I think, has a good show name. And it could just be me ranting about how bad Apple devices are for hours on end. I could fill so many shows. So many shows with this. Okay. So we've got like pretty much like anything that's web standard tech you can use in Blazor. And we've got some web standard things over here with some Blazory things added on. So I've got two labels that are data bound to each other. If I run the sample here, this is like a converter of the terrible units of measure that we use here in the United States, inches, to what the rest of literally the rest of the world uses, centimeters on the other side. And if I come in here and type in like 1 centimeter, this is like 2A data bound. So if you wanted to play with the sample, I can just share this out and I'll get a URL to copy, and I can even embed this in a blog. So if I wanted to embed this in a blog where I'm talking about 2A data binding, I can embed the code and the sample, and I can even configure like which windows to display and so on.
The REPL is not new though, right? Like, are these features new? Explain what she's doing.
So the REPL is not brand new. By the way, I'm going to share this link in chat. It's going to come up as Code It Live in case anybody wants to visit that URL. So this is like the experience we've had for a little while, and there's a lot of cool stuff in here. You can load NuGet packages. You can add static CSS and JavaScript links in there. We can explore the Telerik UI components and their various themes. And there's scaffolding and snippets that we can put in here and use some more of our Telerik components and so on. There's this new tab item here, and it says user snippets. And this is something I've wanted for a really long time. And the team has come through in an amazing fashion. So if I click on user snippets, I'm actually going to pin this for a second because we can pin these panels as well. Now I can actually log in. So if I...
it's like the most Microsoft-y thing you've ever said.
What's that?
You can pin these panels.
Pin the panels?
Like now, like from a JavaScript world, and like getting to know .NET, I'm like, oh, that's like a .NET side of life.
Is that a
like,
thing?
It's like
it's
like a Visual Studio thing, right?
Yes.
Oh.
So this panel is new. This tab is new, and this panel is all brand new. And so is this login button over here. So now there was no account associated with this before. Now you can get your free Telerik account. If you already have a Telerik account, you've already got the account for this. But you can log in up here in the right-hand side if you're not logged in already. If you are logged in, it'll just show you that your email address up here. And then you should have this tab called User Snippets. And now you can save and catalog all of your little demo items. And this is super handy because I have a bunch of them I need to come in here and add to my catalog. Because I have things like from my ebook, samples from my ebook, and then pretty much every time we have a release, I'm in there tinkering with stuff and coming up with demos that I can share with people. And then you can see I've got my two-way data binding here. So every time you hit share, you're going to get a snippet in here. You can filter these, by the way. You can filter them by date. So that is awesome. You can filter by title. So there's some nice UI here as well. And then you can also name these. This is my two-way data binding one that I just kind of reshared. So I can.
Microsoft is very, very apt for that one. You could just leave it. Microsoft.
Just gibberish. Yeah.
You like the name there? Yeah. So you get the. This is kind of like a GUID. It generates. Automatically.
I didn't see that up there. Nice.
Yeah, so it's actually the URL for it, but I already have this one shared down here, so I can just go ahead and unassign that one so I don't have a duplicate. And if I ever want to go back to my two-way data binding like I just did a second ago, I can just click on this one and it'll pull it back up. So this is a brand new feature for Telerik REPL for Blazor, and it is totally awesome because now I can really make use of this. As somebody who's constantly demoing things. And one thing that's really nice about having this experience, and it's part of the Telerik ecosystem, is our support engineers like this as well. So if you're running into an issue with one of our components, something's not working right, maybe you're trying to do a bug report, whatever it is, you can communicate with our support folks really easy with this tool rather than maybe sharing source code or anything like that. You don't have to worry about creating a GitHub repo or zipping up a file to send them. You can just pop open the REPL and put your code in there. And they can do the same as well. Maybe they have something that's going to make your life easier. They want to show you a demo. They can demo that up in here and then share it. And then now they have a catalog of it. So next time that question gets answered, whether it's in support or in our forums, they can just share that out. Fuel Snabble, man, that could be maybe we need to talk to Chris, who's one of the engineers on this, and get a Chat GPT tab or dialog box going. You could just come up and just type in somewhere, create a demo that does X, and it just codes it out for you. That'd be awesome. And I think there was somebody on YouTube doing that yesterday. I got a notification. I didn't get to watch the video, but they were generating Blazor code with Chat GPT.
I don't know what
is a
Chat
thing.
GPT is.
Oh, it's
like
AI?
Alyssa, how long was that flight to Bulgaria, girl? Like, this has been the hottest news for like a month. Where have you been?
She's not
on Twitter because she's happier than the rest of us.
I'm not on Twitter either.
No, it's not. It's 'cause
Okay.
I'm more,
You're on Mastodon
lost
though.
than
You're
the
not
rest
like
of us.
offline.
So the Chat GPT is like an AI dialogue, and it does all kinds of crazy
Sarah,
stuff.
she's amazing, and she's right here, and she knows everything. And you're being covered up by Fuel Schnabel. Oh, there you
Hi,
go.
Sarah.
I took it away. I didn't realize you were going to show people.
Long time no see, Sarah.
She said that we used it in Thankmas, ChatGPT.
Yeah, to generate the stories that we had to read. You remember?
I remember
The,
the
like,
stories. I didn't know
ridiculous
that was the
AI
cool
generated
AI we were
stories.
doing. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were using it there, but it will also write code.
When you were talking about it, I was like, it's just some .NET thing. I don't know, you know.
No, it's not even a .NET thing. Like, you can go into ChatGPT and say, like, write me a. I think I did.
I will say though, with
the
a grain
Pong.
of salt, because I saw a girl on TikTok who was using ChatGPT to generate crochet patterns, and then she would crochet whatever actually came out of it, and they were all like ridiculous, misshapen, terrible.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I'm like, which ridiculous branch should we go down here? Okay, I got you. Like,
I did.
So, whatever code you generate, maybe a grain of salt.
I did one on our talk show with John Bristow, the Eat Sleep Code show, and we were playing around with it. We had it. Yeah, we told it to write a random lunch, an app that would randomly decide lunch for us, and it did it in HTML, and it came up with like 4 select boxes with random lunch items in it.
Well, it didn't function though, right?
I mean, you could select the select boxes, but it didn't really
what
do
you asked for.
not quite what I asked for. But then I asked it to create the game Pong in JavaScript, and it started coding it up, and it like the code looked legit. But since it was a demo, I think you have to have a license to go beyond like so many characters. It like stopped about halfway through. But I mean, it was coming up with some pretty complex stuff, and it was like, user 1, user 2, paddles, balls, like the whole 9 yards, and then it kind of stopped midway.
Do you think it knows about like Kendo UI? Could I be like, make a page with a Kendo UI button? Do you think it could do it?
Entirely on how much it's scraped from our docs.
Yeah, it probably can, because they've pretty heavily scraped the web in general. So I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it at all.
Aw, thank you, Overland Gamer. You're awesome.
Yeah, so this is a big one for the Blazor REPL. I think people will really enjoy
Is
being
that
able to
in
do that.
your blog post? Is that like linked to and talked about?
Yes, it is. It is mentioned in the overall blog post on Telerik.com. So if you go to Telerik.com, I think it's on this check it out up at the top. It is in the Blazor highlights here. Let's see, signature, avatar component. We got our new chip component. We can run through these in a second, but I'm looking for, there it is. Telerik REPL, save your snippets to your own list of code snippets. And if this is also, something that you're seeing for the first time, if you go to demos and we look for any of those new items, which are always highlighted in these green new, I guess we call these chips on the side of the fence. If we go to avatar,
What do you call it on your side of the fence, you weirdo?
I think in Kendo, don't they call them something else, or are they chips over there too?
We got chips. We got chips up in here.
We got chips, baby.
We used to call them something else. Maybe I'm thinking of Ajax. They were pills.
I can offer no
pills or
insight on
something.
Ajax.
Yes.
Yeah. So things like the same things tend to like have names drift over the years, and they mean the same thing, but like a new terminology will spring up and everybody kind of adopts it. Like everything was a widget at one point. Now it's a component. Like they're about the same thing.
Wait. Are you saying widgets and components are the same thing?
Generally speaking, they're the same thing. There might be some nuanced
It's
differences
just kind
between
of a catch-all term
them.
for like
Yeah.
a little JavaScript guy, like a little JavaScript blurbo.
Oh, I thought
So-
widgets were action script related. So this is news to me.
Yeah, if you want to be semantic about it, like I think widgets are like self-contained. They have their own functionality, can exist on their own type of thing. Components belong in an ecosystem.
Are you saying this is
but
REPL related? Because you were like talking about REPL and then you were talking about going to the chips.
yes,
and then
this
you
is
clicked on
REPL related. So like avatars, chips, they're new things. If you want to check them out, you can look at our examples here. And some of these are interactive. You can kind of like change like the size of these items because it's showing you like some of the various properties of the new thing. But if you really wanted to dig into these, you could go to any of the demos and click on Edit in Telerik REPL, and it will bounce you out to the editor. And then you can not only run it here, but if you wanted to come in and make changes to it, maybe you wanted to see
As
your name and
Alyssa often does. Yeah.
you wanted to see your name and lights here. You could go ahead and
Did it
make
do
some
it?
changes
Did
to
it
the
do it?
code and hit run.
You
and then,
guys got hot reload on your side of the fence? Is that
yes, we
what
do. We do have hot reload.
On your side of the
You should
fence.
know that, Alyssa. You've done.
You're also
She
pretty
pretends like she's not.
Pause yourself right now, sir. I got all these .NET people being like, we got hot reload. We got hot reload. We're just like JavaScript. And then I go and I try it and it's like, I have to restart that puppy every time. So I don't
We
know if
have
it's
it. I didn't say it works. I just said we had it.
Oh, well, because you just pressed the run button and I was like, wait, that's not just
Well, that's.
reloading? You know.
This is in the browser, so it takes a little bit more finessing than it would if you're running a full application on your local host. Local host would have hot reload, hopefully, unless you're doing like a major change. Changing text like I just did on a local machine would have hot reload, but if I added like a new component to a view, it would probably force me to reload the app because that's technically a recompile. Tepid reload.
Yeah, chat says that you have lukewarm or tepid reload. I love that. That makes me so happy.
One day they're going to yoke me up and take away my Microsoft MVP for giving these folks such a hard time. But I'm just being honest. It does come with some issues here and there. Hot reload. It's a compiled language. So JavaScript's not a compiled language, but .NET is. So hot reload's harder. So I will give them that. It is a harder nut to crack, and they have done their best, I am sure, to make it work. But it does break down from time to time. You do get a lot of caching, like weird caching issues. We
Yes.
can't get into the whole ball of wax, but when you're writing code in Visual Studio, there's a compiler called Roslyn running in the background, and it caches things that it's compiled to kind of speed things up. And a lot of times that will
You're like
hamper the hot
explaining
reloading.
the code ghost because I've got this like code ghost.
Her name is Rosalind, or his name, I don't know. Rosalind.
Their name? Yes.
Yeah,
you know,
their
whenever
name.
you're like you restart, you rebuild, and your new code that you just wrote is not there, and you're like, oh, you're just joking with me, little code ghost. And then you go and start it again, and it finally shows up. But I guess it has a name, Rosalind.
Yes,
Code
Rosalind is the name of the code ghost. So any of these
Chip is brand
demos
new
here.
for you, or there's a feature on Chip that's new for you?
Chips are brand new for Blazor. Chips, avatars, the chip list. So many chips in a list. Icons got revamped, I think, on all products. So we have font and SVG.
Font. Yep.
You sound like the resident expert there.
Yeah, Catherine, can you
what's,
talk about it?
What's
I wanna
the
hear it.
benefits of, say, a SVG font over SVG icon over a font icon?
It's a spug.
Really just,
No pressure. No pressure.
Yeah, on the spot, right? One of the main things I like about font icons is that then you can scale, like you can set them size-wise the same way you do with your actual text and scale them appropriately, which is you can't do quite the same with SVG icons. So if you're setting all your text to be like, whatever, rems, and you get that flex. Or if you have any kind of like a variable type system that's shifting automatically with your viewport or any of that, font icons can be really nice there because they work like fonts. So
you know about zooming, how either one behaves, like if you command plus, do either one of them, because I think fonts
that
grow
is,
when you do that, right? So I think
it's so dependent on how you've done the styles.
Is it?
Because yeah, a lot of that, it's the difference between what you've built into your app and what the browser is kind of forcing you to do, right? So again, like even fonts, if you've set them in like pixels versus rems versus ems, will scale differently when you zoom based on like viewport size and other stuff. They'll adjust in different ways when you do the command plus.
And you think of a reason you would not want to use the font icon?
Trying to think. It's really just a preference, honestly.
Is there a quality difference when you make one of them larger?
Shouldn't be. SVGs tend to be more scalable at like super high.
I was going to say,
sizes,
if you're like designing
a
billboard, right? Like what?
That's a horse.
You would be surprised.
If you're designing for print, you want to set all of this aside. You want to open up Adobe InDesign. You want to walk away from your web dev tools. But
okay.
I think they would have to be pretty darn huge for you to notice that quality difference. And icons are usually, yay high. So.
One of the projects I worked on back in the day was a kiosk that was on a display that was over 50 inches. So you might have some really large icons on something like that. Mm-hmm.
My first computer had Clippy.
Yeah, I mean.
Your first computer had Clippy.
Yeah.
You didn't have a computer. Wait, hold on. I want to rewind because my actual concern now is that you didn't have a computer before Clippy.
No. What are you saying, Catherine? You called me poor? Yes.
No, I'm just calling you poor. I'm calling you young.
She took it as poor, bless her heart. Oh my gosh. Yeah, mine.
You don't remember that you're a pre-Clippy?
So you had a computer before Clippy?
Yeah. I'll show a picture sometime. There's actually a really adorable picture, a baby picture of me on my dad's lap banging on a like an Apple II.
I feel like we're gonna bring back the 640 by 480 monitors. Like I feel like, yeah.
I dropped the icons list in chat, by the way, because we have these documented. So if you're wondering what the parameters for these,
identical for the Kendo UI for like
they
I think
are.
we all got this update in exactly the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we totally revamped all the icons.
I'm dying at people using holy cards instead of punch cards here.
Holy cards. That's
my mom did holy cards.
He learned his programming in a church.
I was gonna say,
His first computer was in a church. They're holy cards there.
Holy cards, not to be mixed with holy water. Bad things happen.
My first computer interaction was with a two-tone monochrome green and black screen, and it had a cassette tape to load the applications.
Sorry, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at this excellent joke. The Venn diagram here is more overlap than I thought there would be.
Another, one of the things that is common throughout the Telerik Blazor release is this new size. The size was initially a parameter that was added to some of the inputs and buttons and things last release, and it's now being added to some of the larger, more complex components in this release. So you'll see size in the pager, so you can change the size of the entire pager here to be large, medium, or small, and then you want to go even bigger, so you think of even a more complex item.
Excel,
we can go to the grid, the data grid, and the data grid has a size option as well. And you can do like this ultra high density grid So it's
did
like
you guys
pretty
get the
much.
compact grid too, or did you get it earlier
Yes.
than us?
Wait. Hold on. Pause. Hold. Is this the compact grid?
Yes. So it's eliminating about as much white space as it possibly can before, like financial institutions and things that want to have a lot of data on the screen at once. You can go with the compact grid. So that is an option. So you just set the parameter to small on that one, and you'll get this very tightly compacted version of the grid. You can kind of see them side by side here.
Fuel, I think it's honestly more common than any of us want to admit. But like,
oh yeah,
you were like, oh, financial institutions. I was like, or
Everyone.
just some guy walking down the street. Like literally everybody wants as much data on the screen as possible.
If you want to display Alyssa's My Little Pony collection, you're gonna need,
You
you're gonna need this.
ponies, right? Oh my gosh, yes.
And of course, we, along with these things, we have things like column virtualization. So you have even more than that. You just keep going with the column virtualization too.
Yeah.
So that is one of the updates. You'll see that that size thing pop up in some of our other components as well. I think all the pickers got some updates in one shape or another. So we've got
Does
new
Blazor call them
templates.
attributes as well, Ed? So like whenever you have like this size attribute that you're like passing in now, it's a new feature. Like, is it called an attribute for you?
It's a
or
parameter.
parameter.
They're properties.
Attributes, yeah. They're technically properties in Blazor as well, but they call them parameters because properties in C# have another meaning. But they're essentially properties with extra metadata, so they call them parameters.
Spicy properties.
Yeah. I like that. That would have been better.
That would have been better.
That would have been awesome. Like if you write a parameter, let's find
naming things.
let's grab a demo.
Where were you?
So
Could have had
when they were
spicy
naming
props.
that.
So if we go and look, does this one have any properties on it? This one doesn't have any properties either. Let's see. We can do get started. Let's try that. Do we have one with just some simple properties on it? Child component, maybe? Let's try that one. We'll
Fuel
run
sowing
this.
more chaos in the chat.
Always.
That one doesn't have
Have
properties
we
either.
hung out with Fuel in person? Is that
Here.
something we did?
Let's close all the tabs.
I don't think so.
Leave
Okay.
that one.
Fuel, you're the one that could tell us.
Yeah, you're really the only one to clarify here because I was confused.
So I have an ebook online that has tons of good examples in it. It's still up in, we've got 2 Blazor ebooks, by the way, available from our telerik.com. Here, let's do this. Telerik.com/white papers. And I almost misspelled that in a very unfortunate way. Let's go ahead and put that in chat as well. So there's the beginner's guide, which is my ebook. There's the learning Blazor ebook pre-releases as well. So David Pine is writing these. He works at Microsoft, and it's a very lengthy ebook that is fantastic. It's like it was one of the top sellers on Amazon for, I don't know, like 2 or 3 months in a row. You can get that for free because we sponsored it. So grab that for free from our white papers. There's also my smaller form ebook that you can grab too. So if you're looking for another perspective on things, that's another good read. But there's examples that are all from the ebook in Telerik REPL here. And if we
Ed, do you
go
ever
to this one-
print ebooks like this?
Print?
Yeah.
Why would we print an ebook?
Okay, I just was checking. Some people do crazy things.
No, I'm
But do you
teasing.
mean, like,
Some people do
we-
print their books and read
I was
them
gonna
on
say,
paper.
you mean the people who get them? Do they ever home print them, or do you mean do we at RS ever?
I know. I mean, just like a personal home printing preference. Like if you're over here printing off ebooks. No, okay, that's cool.
I used to when I was little. Do you ever print out like the game guide for something really long, the walkthroughs? My parents used to hate that and blow through the printer paper.
Yeah.
We've printed.
Always the ink I ran out of.
We've printed some of our cheat sheets, which I think are also available digital on the white paper site. Yeah, I did a workshop with one, and we printed out a ton of them for the workshop, and they came out really nice.
Condensed, right? Like it's just one page.
Yeah, we've got like I want to say like a flex or a grid cheat sheet? Question mark.
Wait, for us or for him?
I think we, a company, have them.
Collectively.
We
I
need,
cannot tell you
like,
where I live, but I have a very vivid memory of giving them away on stream once.
I need this cheat sheet.
you can search, I think, up here globally, but man, it'd be nice to have a search in here as well. But we could do cheat sheet. We've got a couple of them. Telerik JustMock, Grid cheat sheet, jQuery. Functional programming with JavaScript. I have one of these for C# as well. Oops, that's not. That was somebody giving me feedback on it, which was great because I had a typo in it originally. These are up there. You can grab these. We've printed these out before. They're nice to have like at your desk. Like I used to pin these up at my cubicle at the office on the little cork boards. So when I was programming, I could just glance up and like see the cheat sheets. So I love making those because I actually would use those all the time. But yeah, there's those I've printed and we've had professionally printed in mass. So we were talking about parameters, and we can look at one of the examples here from the ebook, and weather day. There's some parameters. So this is why we call them parameter. This is a property in .NET, and we decorate it with a parameter to expose it to the component. Yeah, but it would be like I really like Catherine's. Like it should be
spicy.
That would have been so much better. Yeah. I mean, why are you you need to meet Steve Sanderson and get on the design team over there in Blazor land, Catherine, because this would be a lot better. It's shorter.
Blazor team when I've never written on a Blazor in my life. It's design decisions.
You could be on their DX team, like the developer experience here. It's like parameters, like really like a lot of typing, and like my brain is bad with like repetitive like letter patterns, like PA, it's got 2 A's that are there and 2 E's that are here. And I always like transpose these things. So spicy is just so much better. Like that would fix everything wrong with Blazor, Catherine. Everything.
Done.
One shot.
Wow.
I have a high hourly rate, but I think we could figure something out.
Okay, is this a way, is this fuel saying you can like nickname it?
What's that?
Is this fuel's way of saying you can just nickname it?
Yeah, I wonder, can you do that?
Why are you laughing? He would never, ever sow false information.
Can you use a use statement and can you alias these?
Fuel.
I didn't know you could alias, I know you can alias stuff. I didn't realize you could alias an attribute.
I am
okay, this is just trolling.
How old were you in that photo in the cheat sheet post, Ed? Get called out.
How old was I in the cheat sheet post?
I want to go back. I didn't even see a photo of you. Maybe I was.
I didn't even notice. I didn't even notice. That was. Let's see. Which photo did I use for that? Is it in my history? It'd be easier to find in there.
I want to see the baby Ed photo.
Papers.
I was going to say, Fuel, I'm pretty sure someone told me that aliases are real. I don't know if they're real for parameters. Like
if you can alias, you can.
If we can, then we'll make spicy thing tonight.
The first half of that sentence is doing a lot of lifting.
That is an old picture. I thought I had that changed. I thought I had that changed. That's not my author.
Enhance.
Here. It won't let me zoom. So let me see. I have this on disk somewhere, I bet.
You know why it won't let you zoom, Ed?
Sure. Hang on, I'm doing this off screen.
You're a piece of technology.
Just to make sure there's nothing sensitive in.
It's not even acknowledging me now.
Folder.
It's just...
Can't you just like right click on the image and tell it to open a new tab?
It's tiny regardless.
Oh my God, Catherine.
Oh, no, it's not. Okay.
No, it's not
It's-
because she's genius.
There it is. There it is. We didn't compress this image. Like, this is literally the image being served.
You do.
Sure, that's great for bandwidth, but yeah. I'm trying to remember what year this was. This was... I don't know.
He's that guy, right?
It is photoshopped, by the way. Like, I'm not wearing a blue undershirt. I think
Were
it was
you wearing
white.
no
and it
undershirt?
was-
Oh, okay.
No, there's an undershirt. I changed the color of it.
I can just imagine PR being like, he
I do remember doing that. Like when I cropped myself, I isolated the image. I do remember changing the color of my shirt as well. I was like, you know what? I should have a blue shirt on in this. I don't know. I just
blue because of your blue and orange colors life scheme, right? Like a
probably that's back when it first started.
shirt.
That's when the obsession started. For those of you who do not know.
Are at the top of our time. Is there anything else that you guys wanted to highlight from your products? Maybe pitch from.
I think the thing that I want to make sure that everyone knows is that you can come back. I believe it's the week after next for Kendo UI. Register for the webinars, I believe. Let me throw the thing in the chat.
You got it. I'll pull it up on screen while you do that.
It's so much fun, and we're
I tried
very
to do
serious
the-
and professional. So
I don't
you
think I
should
got it to
definitely-
show up. But anyway,
Did it not?
Ed's got it. Somewhere back here. Oh, there we go.
So
Release webinars.
I pulled up the
Sorry,
Telerik one, by the way.
Just right over your face. But
No, I just
you
don't know why
can
you're-
register for these. The Kendo UI one is on the 31st. And if you want a more in-depth look at all of the components that we've got coming out, significantly more component details, significantly less early 90s photos of Ed. So you want to loop back around
That's good. I like that.
and reserve your seat for that.
So it's comments like that, Catherine, that make the Code It Elf want to visit your show again.
That's fair. I walked into that one. Can't dish it if you can't take it.
Ed, when is yours? Is it on there? I can't read that. I like
Yeah,
have to
so it is on January 26th, which will be live for me from London. I will be in London. Alyssa, you'll be there in London.
Yes, I'll actually bomb your webinar if you'll let me.
Yeah,
I love
I have to
dotnet
figure out
too,
where
okay?
this is going to happen, but yeah, you're more than welcome to jump in. So I'll be live from London. Sam will be here in the States. We will be streaming. He'll be talking about Maui and
Are
desktop.
they filming in London? Shut
Oh my
up.
God.
Shut up. Dr.
Overland
Who's
Gamers
filming
made
in
it-
London.
Yeah,
When we're
Doctor
gonna be there.
Who.
We got to do some hunting.
Okay, if
Doctor Who
you,
hunting.
I swear to God, if you see David Tennant and Catherine Tate shooting out there on the,
I will call.
on the
Okay, I make
streets.
this promise to you. I will call you and like FaceTime. or something.
FaceTime.
You're like, I need to see with my own eyes.
See.
Yes. Oh
If
my
you can
gosh.
steal any small items off their person, all the better.
So I have an updated picture for this one, and Sam doesn't. This is an old picture of Sam. So
Yeah. All right. Come on. Show it.
what you want? Zoom? Do we need
Yeah.
to zoom it in hand? That's as big as it'll
Oh,
go.
come on.
This is an older picture
Look
of
at
Sam.
look at the gelled tips. This is style.
Go back like another couple months, you probably had frosted tips. I'm just saying.
Oh my God,
It
yeah.
probably has to happen. This one's fairly recent. We did this one in Chicago.
Oh my gosh, I hate
you
that
remember
picture
that?
of
You
me.
remember that?
Yes.
Wait,
Just
you
right
guys
after
got,
I
like,
gave
real
birth.
photos taken by
Yeah.
professionals?
It was awful.
We did.
I was so like.
Mine is a
Large.
selfie that I took frantically on my first day of employment
That
because
was-
somebody said, "Send us a photo of you," and I said,
Anytime
okay. And then they
Catherine,
put it
someone gets
everywhere.
a hold of my like official headshot, I'm like, delete that.
No. Mine.
Oh no, I am so excited though for so next week Telerik webinar, week
Mhm.
after Kendo UI,
UI.
and reporting is. Do we have a reporting webinar? Are we doing it?
I'm gonna guess somewhere in between because that's the order that it's listed in the
February
webinar announcement.
2nd. Is that in between or is that after all of us?
That's after. I was wrong. Yeah, that's last.
It is after. It was a good guess though. A nice
It was a
sandwich,
solid-
a reporting
yeah.
sandwich. We next time would like a reporting sandwich in between.
Have a little jelly. Have a little jelly.
Sarah, can you please do that for the?
You should have a little jelly. Have a little jelly.
There we go.
Excellent. Oh my goodness.
Am I still
thank
screenshot?
you, Ed.
There you go. There's
Yeah.
the original background to my website from when that photo was taken.
This is the same. You photoshopped it into an orange shirt here to match your color scheme. You're
I
doing
did
that
straight.
undershirt's doing a lot of lifting for you, my friend. You gotta buy some more shirts, buddy, so you can stop photoshopping them.
Yeah, that was. So I'm trying to remember what year that was.
This
That
is
was
a generous
probably
comment.
Love it. I think that was the year before I got hired at Progress. So that'd be about 8 years ago. Yeah.
Global Game Jam. I don't know. I didn't know that was a thing.
I don't know. What that is,
Global
but I like the
Game
sound of it.
Jam.
I mean, yeah, I was gonna say it sounds like I should be at.
I know what the Global Game Jam is. So I actually have some friends that do that all the time.
Really?
Yes. So I have some veteran game jammers from back in the day that I know and love. I wonder if they're still doing. I haven't talked to them recently.
I'm guessing.
Yeah. Or is
What's
it
that?
board game?
Is it video game streaming or
No,
like
it
TikTok?
is. So you get a random topic, and there's like a team that picks a topic. So these are my friends here. They have two
You're
Scoop
not
games.
currently screen
Oh,
sharing.
There,
I am
got it.
not.
Two Scoop
So
games.
some friends of mine. So shameless
That's
plug
okay.
for some friends.
Building?
Yeah.
What is it?
So
You get to tell us what this
they have this. They have a game called Kickbot, but I think Kickbot somewhat originated from one of these global game jams. So there's the game
it's like a
jam.
hackathon?
Yeah, it's very similar
Please
to a
define the
hackathon.
game jam for in fact, all the way
So
around it,
you-
we still don't know what it is.
You get a topic, and it could be something like they did one. Let's see if it's still on here. Some of these are from these game jams. See, in jam games. One of them, this one, Uprooted. I think the thing that they're given, it's kind of like improv, right? They're given like certain objectives, and it was a unsuspecting weapon. I think was just that was the title. Like I think that's what it was. So in this one, you're a carrot.
Oh, you're the
And
carrot.
you're the
Okay.
carrot, and you are also the weapon. So there's like
You're,
rabbits
like,
trying to eat
smacking
you.
people with carrots, kind of thing. Like,
Yeah, like the pointy end of the carrot will stab the rabbits, so you can jump.
gosh.
I don't think this is like a very violent thing, but it's like this was what they built for their game jam. So like you had to move the carrot by making it jump.
It's really cute.
Well, now
Yeah,
we're
they-
doing game jam.
These guys are so creative. They're so much fun. So they come up with all these cool ideas through these game jams.
Oh, cool.
So you can check them out if you want to at Two Scoop Games. And then there's I'm trying to remember how often game jams occur. They're pretty
Ed,
frequent.
have you ever gone to one?
No, I haven't. I haven't been able to break off the time for it. So here's a good explanation. So they're usually 48 hours, sometimes a month long. I just never had the time to dedicate to it. Yeah.
It's fair.
But it's a fun, thing to be able to do. Yeah, I like those kind of. It's a hackathon, but it kind of is a little more open-ended. Like the terms aren't so strict. It's like they give you some ideas, but it's open to creativity from there. It's like
Nice.
it's not very strict prescriptions of what to do. Yeah. Cool.
Nice.
Well, we are at the top of our time, my loves. So if there's any more pitching or special bits we wanted to talk about, now is the time. But I think I'm excited to cover the Kendo UI side, and I will definitely pop in on Ed's stream next week since I'll be in London with him. So
yeah, we should probably not only join our webinars, but if you're in London, you can come see us at NDC London. We can share some links in chat as we end time here. So NDC London, and then we're going to be in Sweat Tug in Stockholm. Not the week after, but the following week. So I will find the link for that one and share that as well.
Sorry, Fuel. I've been like pretty irregular. He said that 4 parallel streams to watch now. Most of the weeks are 0 streams. As traveling's picking back up, I'm trying to find a balance to streaming and traveling. But I love you, and I will figure it out.
There's always one of us on at least once a week.
Like Catherine, get on stream.
I should. We're starting up React Wednesdays soon, so I'll be back on before too long.
Nice.
So.
Yeah, so Stockholm. Stockholm is going to be Sam, Basu, myself. Layla might be there as well. I'm trying to remember if Layla's there. They just released their speaker list today, yesterday.
Are you going to Basta after that? I'll be in Basta in Germany in February.
No, Sam's usually there. Yeah, we've got in Sweden Layla Porter. She's going to be there. Let's see, Richard Campbell, Carl Franklin, Guy Royce, all good friends of ours. So, yeah, if you're in any of those areas, make sure you stop in and check us out. And of course, Basta, if you want to see Alyssa again.
Yes. Well,
who wouldn't?
Yeah, sometimes I'm a little scary in person though. So if you're used to seeing me on stream and you run across me in person, just, brace yourself. I can very, I don't know. Sometimes like I run at people and I'm like, hi, and they're like, oh. Just, Aw. Well, yeah, we'll see you guys either in person or on the webinars. Thank you for chatting it up with us, everybody. We appreciate you all. And I'm super pumped to talk to you very, very soon on a stream coming near you.
For sure.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.